These are the new earbuds from Beats, the Beats Studio Buds. In the box, they come with a USB-C charging cable, not the head, just the cable. They also come with some extra buds, some extra tips so your fit can be just right. And they also come with an Apple Music free trial voucher. Now, let's forget about all this extra stuff though. Let's go straight into what you came for, the Beats Studio Buds themselves. I'm gonna go through everything from design, to transparency, to noise canceling, to the fit and comfort, and just how they are for working out. And it's just everything and anything that's important with the Beats Studio Buds to see just the entire package you get for exactly $150. Okay, let's not waste any time, okay? Let's get started with the most important part, sound quality. Now, long story short, as far as sound quality goes, the Studio Buds sound good. They sound pretty decent. The highs are good, the mids are good, and the bass is a little more than the mids and the highs, but it's also good as well. And overall, they're just decent sounding earbuds. They're pretty enjoyable for listening to music, and if you use Apple Music, then they actually support the new Apple Music Lossless and Dolby Atmos, which is basically spatial audio for music though. Although if you want to watch movies, then you can and you will enjoy it and things still sound good there, but you can use spatial audio with these. The Studio Buds support spatial audio, but only for music. They don't support the movie spatial audio like the AirPods Pros and the AirPods Max and everything. But apart from that, your movies are still gonna sound good and enjoyable. And sound quality is not bad with the Studio Buds for everything really. Even when gaming, I find everything loud and clear, and I have no problem having fun hearing footsteps and killing all my enemies basically. As I kept using the Studio Buds and I kept listening to music, I realized that they kind of sound familiar. After a lot of listening, I found that they sound very similar to the AirPods Pros. And if you told me that the same company was behind the mixing and the audio and the hardware between these devices, I'll just tell you, yup, I could tell that. It's really not that hard to tell. But the Studio Buds don't sound quite as good as the AirPods Pros. They sound very similar and they mix pretty similarly as well. But even though the highs on the Studio Buds sound similar to the highs in the AirPods Pros, and the same thing goes for the mids, the beats just sound like it's a notch lower in quality. Like if the drivers in the AirPods Pros were an A+, then the drivers in the Beats would be like a B, maybe a B-. So they sound very similar in the mixing and everything, but the quality of the hardware is not the same. In the mids and the highs, and also the bass as well. Now for the bass though, the Beats do have more bass than the AirPods Pros, but I can't say it's better bass there either. I still say the bass driver there, even though it emits more bass and it gives you more boom boom booms and more, it still doesn't sound as high in quality as the AirPods Pros. Like I said, it's just a notch lower, like a letter grade lower. A+ to B, B-, like I said. But overall, not comparing these guys to anything, the Beats Studio Buds sound good. Now that's kind of funny as well, because you know I said that the Studio Buds and the AirPods Pros sound very similar, except that the driver quality is just a bit lower on the Studio Buds, although the mix is basically the same, except the bass. The bass is more in the Studio Buds. Well, there's one flaw with the Studio Buds and the sound quality department, specifically the music listening department, and specifically the bass department. Because when you're listening to some songs in the Studio Buds, specifically at the highest volume, sometimes instead of some good bass to drop like you expected to, you get this painful bass sound instead, basically like a clipping sound. It sounds like whatever the sound was supposed to be was just too much for the hardware in the Beats Studio Buds. And that bass clipping sound you get can really hurt your ears. It's not a fun sound to hear. So if you're gonna be listening to a lot of songs with bass, like hip hop, rap, or anything with bass, and you're gonna be doing it on the highest volume, specifically the highest volume, you're gonna run into this problem, or you're gonna get a noise in your ears that's gonna make you go like, something like that. Because that's what it made me go like. And I can handle a lot of bass and a lot of loud music, so it's definitely not me, okay? It's the Studio Buds, for sure. So yeah, sound quality overall with the Studio Buds is actually pretty good, pretty decent, like I said, overall. But that occasional bass clipping sound is just not the nicest thing, and happens more often than you'd expect, and more often than I'd like. But yeah, that's that with sound quality, okay? But what about when the sound's not sounding though, and nothing sounding? I'm talking noise canceling. How do the Studio Buds perform when it comes to noise canceling? Well, surprisingly, the Beats Studio Buds are very good when it comes to noise canceling. When you put them on, a lot of noise just goes away. And it's not actually just because of the noise canceling, actually. Even without noise canceling, the Beats Studio Buds just feel like you have your fingers stuffed in your ear. Like it feels like they kind of just block the noise and there's something in between your ears and your surroundings. And then on top of that, with noise canceling turned on, things get pretty quiet actually. And the Beats Studio Buds are actually pretty good at noise canceling. Much better than I expected actually. Although it's not really the noise canceling that is so good, because if you turn noise canceling off, not transparency mode or anything, but just noise canceling off, you see that it still cancels a good amount of noise, like I said before. And when you turn on noise canceling, it takes it an extra step further, but not too much further. But when you combine both of them together, noise canceling is pretty good on the Beats Studio Buds. I'll say around the level of the AirPods Pros, which is not bad at all. Now, how do they do in the area opposite of noise canceling? I mean transparency. Well, when you press and hold the earbuds to switch to transparency mode and the studio buds, you will hear your surroundings and it will sound transparent, but it's not perfect transparency like we get with some other earbuds, like the AirPods Pros that I keep mentioning in this video. And like most people are probably mentioning in their videos as well. You know, Apple made the AirPods Pros, Beats make the studio buds, Apple owns Beats. So Apple basically made the studio buds as well. And it's for a cheaper price, so people are really trying to see how it compares to the AirPods Pros in certain categories. And it actually can in some categories like noise canceling, and I'll be making a video about that very soon. But in the category of transparency, yes, it's good and it is transparent, but it's not as transparent as the AirPods Pros. It kind of just sounds like the AirPods Pros do in transparency mode, which basically sound like your ears in normal living life mode. The Beats Studio Buds kind of sound like that, except that it also sounds like your fingers in your ears and there's something just blocking the noise from getting into your ears. Even though the microphone is trying to get the sound into your ears, the buds themselves feel a little like earplugs, and it's like it's blocking the noise from getting into your ears. So your surroundings will sound quite as loud as they would with your actual ears. The volume's not going to be much lower in a way that you're not going to be hearing your surroundings, and it's not annoying or anything at all. Like, it's still transparent, but it's only pretty decent in transparency mode. Now, I know transparency mode is not that important to many people though. It's actually not the most important thing for me as well. It's not even the most important use of the microphones, to be honest. I'd say the most important use of the microphones are, to record sound. So how do the microphones sound like in a phone call or a voice recording, and just how good are they?
Well, what you're hearing right now is being recorded with the microphones and the Beats Studio Buds, so you can hear how they sound for yourself. How do they sound to you? Do they sound good for phone calls? Do you think it's acceptable for voice recordings, Zoom calls, or whatever? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know if you even think microphones are that important. Now, an area that is more prevalent though, and you're definitely going to notice more, especially with these earbuds in this specific color, that area is design.
Now, as far as design goes, the studio buds look, honestly, not so different from other earbuds, both the case and the earbuds themselves. Now, with that being said though, the design is probably the biggest part of the studio buds. I mean, that's the part you see with all the marketing. You see studio buds with a bunch of celebrities, and that's basically the way Beats are trying to sell these earbuds. They're not really bragging about sound quality or noise canceling or this or that. They're just showing what these earbuds with the Beats logo looks like on celebrities. So they're really pushing the image and the cool factor and everything. And the studio buds actually come in different colors. There's white, there's black, but the main color they're really pushing, and the most fitting and iconic one actually, is red. Now, normally I wouldn't get red earbuds. Actually, I don't think I can get red earbuds anywhere. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any major earbuds that are red already. But I think these are basically the only pair. Maybe except the Galaxy Lives, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, normally I'll probably go for the black version because that goes with everything and I can wear it everywhere. It's not going to be obnoxiously standing out. But I got the red this time because it's just so unique. And that's what I want to show you guys in the testing. But if you want to get the red though, you should know, and you probably already know, like I said, it's going to stand out. And yes, it might go with some of the stuff you're wearing, especially if you're intentional about it, but it's not really gonna go with every single thing you're gonna wear. So if you care about how your earbuds look, then you might not want to get the red color. But if you really care about the way your earbuds look, then you might really want to get the red color as well because it's just so unique and it really stands out. So there are really two sides to it depending on who you are. Now, as far as the actual earbuds themselves, like I said, they don't look so different from other earbuds. Like, it's not like the Galaxy Lives that when you see them for the first time, you don't even know what part goes in your ear. With these, it's pretty clear they're earbuds, but they do have a pretty unique design as well. It's made of plastic, which is matte in some areas and glossy on like the external edge area, which is like an oval shaped rectangle thing, which I don't see on earbuds too often. And I like seeing unique things, but it also is a little hard to hold and get a grip of if you're trying to grip it really hard. So you kind of have to hold it a little softly, because if you hold it too hard, it's gonna slip out of your hands. And this rectangular stem isn't too much of a problem. Well, it actually is in some other areas, but we'll talk about that later, okay? Now, the surface of this rectangular stem where the Beats logo is also the button. And that's where you access all the controls with the Studio Buds. And they have the same controls like other Apple devices, like the AirPods Pros. So you tap once to play and pause your music, and then you double tap to go to the next song, and then triple tap to go to the previous song, just as usual. Now, I normally wouldn't prefer to be pushing on my earbuds when they're in my ears. So I wouldn't prefer earbuds with tap controls or push controls with actual buttons, just like the Studio Buds. But the Studio Buds aren't too bad. Well, except when they're kind of annoying as well. And actually, let's talk about that right now, okay? Let's talk about seamlessness with the Studio Buds. Now, the little annoying thing I'm referring to is when you have your music playing and then you just want to adjust the buds in your ear, but then it just skips to the next song. Then you have to manually take it back to the song you're already listening to. And stuff like that, just mistakenly messing with the controls when you don't want to. And that's why I don't like tap to control or touch to control or buttons on my earbuds, because they always mess with when you want to adjust the earbuds. Now, this isn't too much of a problem with the Studio Buds though, actually. Why? Because they fit pretty well, actually. You know, I can shake my head as long as I want to on camera here. And honestly, I might as well just be shaking my head for fun because the Studio Buds are just not gonna come out, no matter how hard I try. The fit is actually very good on the Studio Buds. You know how the earbuds kind of plug your ears and you can really feel them in your ears and it helps with noise canceling? Well, I'll say that helps with the fit as well. They're one of the best fitting earbuds I've tried. So it's really not a problem if you want to use them for light workouts or honestly even heavy workouts where you're running back and forth and all of that. But it's not on the level of something like the AirPods Pro though. Because with those, you can do basically anything you want. You can do a handstand, you can do some flips, you can run a marathon. They're just not gonna come out of your ears unless you remove them by yourself. The little wingtip seatbelt thing really helps. Now the Studio Buds, as you know, don't have the seatbelt thingy. So yeah, even if the fit is good and you can use them for basically most workouts, you still don't want to use them for the most intense workouts. Like you can't see it in this footage, when I'm really playing football, soccer for Americans, when I'm really going intensely there and I'm running back and forth and changing directions really fast, I find myself having to adjust the fit and push them back into my ears. If not, the buds are gonna fall out. You probably know that feeling I'm talking about if you had earbuds like inching their way out of your ears, right? So the Studio Buds are not the best for the most intense workouts out there, but they're one of the best fitting earbuds I've tried, and you can use them with basically anything I can get on footage to show you here, like you can see. It's not a problem. If it is though, you can always go to the extra buds or the tips that they give you. And you can pick a better size that's gonna be a better fit for you. But I really wouldn't worry about fit with the Studio Buds. Same thing with comfort as well. We don't really talk about comfort too much with earbuds, but the Beats Studio Buds are pretty comfortable. It's not that big a deal with earbuds. They're actually more uncomfortable than some other earbuds because, you know, with the Beats Studio Buds, you really feel them in your ears because of the whole earpluggy feeling they give you. But still, my ears didn't hurt after hours of use, but my ears have been through a lot though lately. I've been testing a bunch of stuff, but comfort is not an issue with the Studio Buds. You can use them and you're gonna be comfortable in basically every scenario. Even when laying down on the bed on your side. It's actually slightly less comfortable there. There's some other minimal earbuds because of the rectangular stem sticking out a little bit, but it doesn't hurt your ears. But still, you probably don't want to be laying down on your side with the Studio Buds though, because you know, it's gonna mess with your controls. The button is literally right there on the side that you're gonna be resting your head on. So if you really rest your head, it's gonna be a problem. And if you don't want it to be a problem and you still want to lay on your side, you're gonna have to do some head sleeping gymnastics thing. So the button does not make contact with the couch or the pillow or the bed you're staying on. But yeah, all in all, I'll say the Studio Buds are pretty seamless. Like they don't get in the way of anything you really want to do, and they work the way you would expect them to, basically. Now, what about beyond what you expect them to do? And I'm talking the extra stuff they do, as in the extra features. Well, the Studio Buds don't really have any extra features, basically. Actually, that's not true. The Studio Buds do have an extra feature, one that most of the earbuds have these days, and that is it's waterproof. Well, water resistant. But yeah, it has an IPX4 water resistance rating, which is not the best I've seen, because you know the Galaxy Bud Pros have an IPX7 water resistance rating, but it is on par with most of the flagship earbuds out there, like the AirPods Pros and everything. And that's good water resistance, okay? But apart from that, the Studio Buds don't really have any other extra features. A big feature, or at least something people were talking about before, is that these could be the AirPods, but for Android and all of that. And honestly, I don't even talk about this too much in my videos, like the pairing aspect of things, because you pair once and then you never pair again. It's just not an issue at all after that. So honestly, the advantage for Android and all of that stuff, it just honestly doesn't make a difference in the actual experience of using the earbuds. I haven't had any Bluetooth issues or anything, Android or iOS, and that's basically my experience with most of the earbuds I test, unless I say otherwise. So I wouldn't call that an extra feature at all. So yeah, the Studio Buds just don't have any extra features. Let me know in the comment section below if you think I'm missing something though, or if your experience with Android and the Studio Buds has been better than your experience with Android and some other earbuds like the AirPods Pros or something. But even with the AirPods Pros, using it with Android, it's really not a big deal. You pair once and it's done, really. The only thing is that I won't use iCloud to automatically switch between devices. And actually, that's also the case with the Studio Buds on Apple devices as well. So I guess the Studio Buds are not exactly like just the AirPods Pros and the AirPods and other Apple devices. They're just a little bit discriminated against, and I actually do like what Beats is doing, trying to be more friendly with Android. I really appreciate that, right? So I guess the gesture is a little bit of an extra feature there, except that it's really not. Okay, so that's that with extra features. Now, let's talk about how long these earbuds are gonna last you when you use them. I'm talking battery life. Now, Beats says they'll give you about 8 hours of listening time. And now 8 hours is a lot of hours, actually. Something like the AirPods Pros only gives you 4 to 5 hours. So an 8-hour claim is a pretty big deal. And if it's true, it's gonna be among the best earbuds out there when it comes to battery life. Now, is it true? Well, honestly, I'm not sure. 8 hours is a long time. I don't listen to music for 8 hours straight. But it probably is true because I couldn't kill it in like 4 or 5 hours and I still had like a decent bit of battery life. So battery life is not something you need to worry about with the Studio Buds. I'll agree with Beats and say they're among the best earbuds out there when it comes to battery life. They also charge pretty fast as well. I'm talking the earbuds specifically, but also the case as well to a lesser degree. Now, one good thing about this case though is that it uses USB-C instead of the Lightning port like the AirPod Pros and the AirPods. So I do like that they're not like the AirPod Pros there, but I wish they were more like the AirPod Pros in the wireless charging department because the Studio Buds don't support wireless charging. But that's not really that big a deal. Well, depending on who you are, so you can decide that for yourself. But yeah, that's that with battery life and charging with the Studio Buds. Now let's talk about the not so good things with these devices. And this is actually a pretty positive area because apart from the negative things I've said, like maybe the mistakenly pushing the buttons and the bass just going past the hardware sometimes with some songs, apart from that, there's really nothing bad I have to say about the Studio Buds. But at the same time, there's nothing great I have to say about them. Like they don't really have an exceptional standout feature. I mean, they're pretty good at noise canceling actually, but there are other earbuds out there that are better at noise canceling. And they're also better earbuds when it comes to sound quality and transparency and microphone quality. And they're just better earbuds in many other areas. Now, that doesn't mean the Studio Buds aren't good though. I think they definitely are good overall, especially for the price. I guess the price might just be the best thing about them because they basically can compete against all these other earbuds. Even though they probably won't win, they can't compete well enough and they're gonna cost you a lot less. Actually, maybe not a lot less because of the discounts and everything going around. But the Studio Buds are pretty good earbuds and the price is good for you. You can get them for a pretty good price, then you're probably not gonna be disappointed. Unless you are. Well, but I've talked about everything in this video, so you're gonna know yourself right now. Anyways, that's about it, guys. Let me know what you think about the Studio Buds. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what videos you'd like to see. Let me know whatever you want to let me know in the comment section below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And thank you for watching, okay? Bye-bye. Okay, the Studio Buds should be just underneath the AirPod Pros, somewhere around that level. Let's see, that's like, one of the Jabras? One of the Galaxy Lives? Would I buy these over the Galaxy Lives? Those one look cool. Yes, though. I mean, these guys are pretty good, but okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.